Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a pretty radical idea for how to fix our, let's be honest, completely broken online world. It's called the NCAI Arena, and it's all built around one single, unshakable idea. What if every single claim, every idea, every piece of information online was judged by the exact same process?
So yeah, let's kick things off with the massive question that a system like the NCAI Arena is even trying to answer. We all feel it, right? Our online information space just feels broken. It's full of echo chambers and what feels like constant warfare between different stories. How in the world do we even start to fix that?
Okay, before we can really appreciate the solution, we have to get on the same page about the problem. The minds behind NCAI have identified a few key issues that make having a productive online conversation pretty much impossible these days. The first huge problem is what they call fragmentation. We're all basically living in different online realities. We're consuming different information from totally different sources. And because of that, we can't even agree on a shared set of basic facts anymore. And that fragmentation leads directly to the next problem: echo chambers. The algorithms on social media, plus our own natural biases, mean our own views just get repeated back to us over and over again. It reinforces everything we already think and makes it incredibly hard for any new or challenging ideas to even break through. So what's the end result of all that? Well, the document calls it narrative isolation. It means those separate realities we're in become so cut off from each other that having a good faith conversation across those divides, it's next to impossible. We're not just disagreeing anymore. It feels like we're operating in completely different worlds. So, faced with that mess, what's the NCAI Arena's big, bold solution? It's this: create a single, unified place governed by one unchangeable process, a process that applies to absolutely everyone and to every single claim, no matter what the topic is. And this one sentence, this is the entire philosophy right here. Truth is plural in content. That part means the arena is totally fine with there being lots of different beliefs and perspectives out there. But singular in process, that part insists that all of those different ideas have to be tested against the exact same rigorous, transparent set of rules. And this is that mandatory, unchangeable process in action. Every single claim, whether it's a new scientific theory or a controversial policy idea, has to go through these exact same steps. From the moment it's submitted, it's classified, reviewed, checked by a guardian, deliberated on, and finally resolved. There are no shortcuts, no exceptions. The whole point is to create a system that's fair by its very design and incredibly hard to manipulate. Now, this super strict process also creates something else, a completely new kind of online economy. The arena totally flips the script on what we consider valuable, moving the focus away from things like popularity and virality and towards actual, meaningful contribution. So, instead of likes, shares, or retweets, this system runs on a unit called POP, which stands for Proof of Participation. You can kind of think of it as a currency, but for civic value. It's a way to measure how much someone has actually contributed to the process in a constructive way. And here's the absolute game changer. POP completely realigns what people are incentivized to do. You earn it for things like providing solid evidence, for clarifying complicated points, or even for offering a well-argued, good faith dissent. What you don't earn it for is just being popular or loud or trying to manipulate people's emotions. The goal is to reward what is structurally sound, not just what gets the most clicks. Okay, so if you can earn real value for what you contribute, what stops people from trying to game the system? I mean, who's the referee here? This is where the system introduces its most fascinating and unique idea: the guardians. Think of guardians as automated, totally impartial referees. Now, these aren't people. They're specialized AI or rule-based systems. Their only job is to watch the game for structural fouls, like, say, a claim that's made without any evidence, and throw a flag whenever a rule of the arena gets broken. And what they can't do is just as important as what they can. A guardian can't argue with you. It can't vote, it can't try to persuade anyone, and it can't decide who wins a debate. They're designed to be these strictly neutral observers, which makes them unweaponizable. They're just there to enforce the rules of the game, for everyone. So how does this all play out in the real world? Let's take an example. Imagine someone proposes a brand new public policy. Well, a single claim like that could easily touch on many different areas of life, right? So the system stacks these signals from different guardians. The health guardian might throw a flag because there's no data on potential harm. The law guardian might signal a problem with due process.
The human participants have to resolve all of those structural issues before the policy can move forward. You literally can't just ignore a violation and push your idea through. So, what's the ultimate goal of this whole elaborate structure? I mean, it's not just about having better arguments online. It's about building a completely new foundation for how we create and how we store trustworthy knowledge. Any contribution that makes it all the way through this rigorous process becomes part of a permanent, unchangeable knowledge archive. And here's the really cool part. Their creators can actually earn pop royalties over time. For as long as their contribution stays useful and relevant, it creates a direct, powerful incentive to build knowledge that lasts. This source document wraps up with this powerful statement, making it crystal clear what this thing is and what it isn't. The Enkai Arena is not designed to be another social media site. It's not another place for endless circular debates. It's designed from the ground up to be a fundamental civic utility for producing reliable information. And all of this leaves us with a final, really provocative thought. Could a system like this, one that prioritizes a strict, singular process over whatever content happens to be popular, finally give us a shared foundation for facts online? Is a shared, unchangeable rulebook the way we finally rebuild our broken information space? It's a radical idea, for sure, but definitely one worth thinking about.